Welcome to my continuing practicing strategy E modes videos. This is going to be E Lydian. So I started off with E and F sharp major triads played up and down the neck. So that's going to be the 4 and 5 chords from the parent key of B major. So you can refer to the PDF that goes along with these videos, also the the different notes and everything to reference what I'm doing here. So I think what I'll do to start for today's video, I played through some chords just to kind of get that sound in our minds. How about I'll start off playing the key of B major up and down on a couple strings. I'll throw in this low E so you can kind of hear the sound of the E Lydian. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, that's a sharp 4, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. And I think I end on that on the diagram. So backwards. So major 7, 6. There's a note that distinguishes it from the major. Okay, next string, key of B, parent key. So B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So I guess you can call that literally E Lydian. So let's just try something here. I'll go ahead and add in that high E also occasionally. It's a little weird sounding. I guess you'd have to experiment with that to get that to work. Okay, let's do the next string. So G sharp, A sharp. All right, so you'll notice that A sharp note is part of the 5 chord. So the E triad and the F sharp triad are the 4 and 5 chords from the parent key. So that's been my kind of the ongoing theme of these, based on the Frank Gambale video, and other people talk about this. The 4 and 5 chord kind of give you the sound of the mode. So continuing up, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp. Backwards. All right, so that kind of gives you the sound of that mode. I'll talk a little bit about these chords that I discovered here. So this kind of chord move, E triad to an F sharp triad, E, G sharp, B, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. So since I'm thinking E Lydian, I have open, 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 and I'm just kind of moving these chords. Then I thought it sounded cool to kind of move that note up to one note. So you can do it here, and then the same thing here. Taking that C sharp, now going up to D sharp, and then here the B going up to C sharp, and then I think what here I did here. So sus, and then here on the E, rather than being sus4, which would also sound good, but it wouldn't be Lydian, so. Kind of unusual sound. It's not a sound that I use a lot, but just to be thorough in these tutorials, I'm just making sure I'm doing every single mode: Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, now Lydian. Okay, so how about next? I'll do some of these caged positions. So key of B, so F sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. And you can draw in that so you got major 7 there. That's not too bad of a stretch there. I'm adding that sharp 4 there. Okay, next, starting from G sharp, I'll say the note names ascending, but not descending. So G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Okay, so now to, I guess you would kind of consider this sort of the main position of B major. So I'll start from the 7th here: A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp. I'll add in the low E here. I'll do a little tangent here. I'll go ahead and do the 3-note per string scales starting from the 7th and the root here. I've done these in other videos. Okay, so I'll say the note names ascending: A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp. And I talked about how Mick Goodrick talks about this in his Advancing Guitars book. He talks about these particular scale patterns being good for triplets. I'll do one more of these 3-note per string scales, starting from the B. So, and I've talked about the idea of symmetrical patterns. So every two string grouping has the same fingering. Okay, so B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Just do a little tangent here. So I'll talk about in the notes at the end of this PDF, I talk about these extracting out some 1-octave scales. So here's a nice convenient one right here. Maybe I'll throw in like a major 7 chord here. manipulate this chord. I'm going to throw in the sharp 11 here, or sharp 4. Okay, so that would kind of give you the Lydian sound also. See, that's that one. See, I go to here. This is C sharp, so so since I'm comparing key B, so this would be basically a C sharp Dorian pattern, but I'm not thinking of it as Dorian. I'm mostly thinking of these as E being my root. Okay, note name C sharp D sharp E, F sharp G sharp, A sharp B C sharp, D sharp E F sharp, G sharp A sharp B, C sharp D sharp E. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of a tangent here. So I always find it interesting that this pattern here, 3-note per string, is almost exactly the same as this Dorian pattern here. So that's just something that you can think about depending on what kind of run you want to do. Or there's a triplet idea like Mick Goodrick talks about. All right, that's good there. Okay, so now let's go on to starting from D sharp here. So parent scale B major, D sharp E F sharp, G sharp A sharp B, C sharp D sharp E, F sharp G sharp, A sharp B C sharp, D sharp E F sharp. So I got off a little bit here. Okay, so here's that other convenient pattern starting from F sharp. So starting from the 4 chord, you have this kind of E Lydian sound. Okay, and then you have this F sharp Mixolydian pattern, but I'm just using it more like for this E Lydian. Okay, and then and then I would be back to where I started from. That'd be the same. Okay, let's do pentatonics next. So if I'm in key of B, so my 2 minor pentatonic. So I've talked about this in my other video. So C sharp minor pentatonic is also E major pentatonic. So I'll say the note names: C sharp E, F sharp G sharp, B C sharp, E F sharp, G sharp B, C sharp E. Or E major. And now I'll do the 2 extension patterns. So the one extension pattern starts from down here: B C sharp, E F sharp G sharp, B C sharp, E F sharp G sharp, B C sharp, E F sharp G sharp. So that would obviously work for E major because it's a E major pentatonic. Or C sharp minor pentatonic. You can use it for both. That's the one extension pattern, and then I'll start this one here, and then I'll lower it down to open. So E, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp. Okay, and then also here E, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp. All right, so each of these can be used for either major or minor, depending on how you emphasize your notes. Or C sharp minor. That's the 2 chord. Now D sharp would be the 3 chord. D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp. Backwards. Okay, so that's going to be both D sharp minor or F sharp major. Okay, I'll do the extension pattern here. C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. Either for D sharp minor, which is and harmonically E flat minor, too, depending on what key you're in. And then also F sharp major, which is also and harmonically G flat major. Okay, that's one extension pattern. Okay, so the next one. Starting from here, I'm going to go down to here. So F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp. So F sharp, G flat, and also D sharp minor. The D sharp minor. So both of those. And then one more, let's see, so C sharp, D sharp, and then G sharp would be the 6 minor, and it's also the 1 major. And I think I've talked about this idea. So you have B chord, if you have a B triad here, and use this note here, then you have these very convenient, somewhat convenient notes you can add to this chord, which you could also do here. That's a little bit of a stretch there, but if you go here, now watch what happens here. So if I add these notes here, that ends up being an E chord. 5, and then back to 1. F sharp, kind of C shape, E chord with the C shape, and then back to this. This is kind of a big stretch, so you can kind of compare this to like an open G chord. So if you took a G chord, moved it up, added this note here, so that's the same chord. But it's a little bit easier to, well, you can do it either side. So either put this as your bass, or you can add the high note. That's I Got a Feeling, Beatles. pro tip: never try to sing like Paul McCartney. You'll fail miserably. Okay. All right. So let's see. I was on. Okay. So I guess I'm on B. Okay. So I need to do one more extension pattern here. Got a little bit on a tangent here. So starting from the G sharp. So F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp. That's the G sharp minor, and then the B major. I'll start from here. B major or G sharp minor. B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp. Okay, so those are the pentatonics. Yeah. So key of B, E Lydian. It's not something that I play in a lot. So as I was getting ready for this video, I kind of discovered a couple little interesting voicings here. So the one was this one here, the E major 7 chord, E, B, D sharp, G sharp. So if I replace the B with the A sharp, that gives me my Lydian sound. There's also this chord here, E, G sharp, D sharp, F sharp. So that's kind of an E, like an E major 9. So if I replace the G sharp with the A sharp, that kind of is an interesting Lydian sound also. So how about adding that note there? It's kind of a cool sound. Okay, there's that. Where's that 1 octave pattern? I thought this was kind of interesting too when I start off the video. This is kind of a tricky fingering here. So I have the E triad, F sharp triad. Then here, normally, like if you're doing like the Hendrix thing, you have a E triad or a F sharp triad. Very typical classic rock thing. So what I did here, I kind of shot my finger over here. So I'm flattening this and then curving up. Kind of tricky to do, but it's an interesting sound. And then the same thing here. So I guess you would call that a hinge bar. So if I just tried to finger that conventionally. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I made that too hard. I guess that's good practice here. So you're barring the second finger. Barring the second finger here. But I think it's a lot easier to just do it like this. So I'm just making sure that as I'm barring here, I'm lifting enough to miss those times. So there's your E triad. And then I did this, adding the next scale note up. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about this today. This isn't a sound or a key that I play in a lot. So I'll just end off the video. I'll just do a little bit of an improvisation around some of these ideas and just kind of see what happens. Get rid of the safety net and just sort of see what happens here. Okay, here it goes.